After almost 10 years, Kim Kardashian has again come face to face with the men who allegedly bound and gagged her in a Paris hotel. An emotional day in court over the robbery that changed her life forever. An emotional moment for Kim Kardashian. The reality star told a French court she thought she was going to die at the hands of armed bandits during a $20 million jewellery heist at her Paris hotel in 2016. Facing her alleged attackers for the first time while giving evidence, she told one of them that she forgave him after he expressed regret. But she also testified that his apology didn't change the emotion, feelings and trauma that she experienced after being tied up and threatened with a gun.
What they did to her, it was violent, it was terrible, and it changed the arc of her life.
And the ex-girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs has cried as she delivered graphic testimony on the second day of his sex trafficking trial. A heavily pregnant Cassie Ventura told the court Combs was controlling and abusive. The 38-year-old describing feeling humiliated during degrading, drug-fueled sex sessions dubbed freak-offs that she says lasted up to 4 days. Ventura also testified she feared for her safety if she refused to take part. The jury was again shown this hotel security footage from 2016. When asked how many times Combs had thrown her like that, she responded, "Too many to count." Well, let's get more on that story now with legal affairs reporter Meghann Cuniff. Meghann, how did Cassie describe these freak-offs?
She described them as long and degrading. She said the longest was 4 days. 4 days of this that it went on. It was grueling and Diddy was very demanding during this. And it was also just a lot of sexual activity.
Did Cassie talk about any particular moments that were traumatic for her?
She did do a narrative for the now infamous video, at least in the United States, that CNN published last year of Diddy assaulting her in a hallway of a Los Angeles hotel room in 2016. And that really caught a lot of attention. And this was before he was arrested when the video came out, and he issued a tearful apology. But it was really the beginning of a lot of troubles for him. And we heard testimony from Cassie about that video. Jurors saw the video before she testified, and then they saw it again during her testimony. And she testified about how she was trying to escape one of these freak-offs. And I think that's really important testimony because, of course, the defense here is that this was consensual and that she was a participant in all of this, so a willing participant.
So just to be clear, because I've been trying to understand the relevance of that video to this trial, is she saying that that's what happened when she tried to escape? So that's how that sort of violence is connected to the whole freak-off allegation?
Exactly. Because behavior has been described in some encounters, overall encounters, as consensual. But her overall point is that she was being coerced through the whole relationship and manipulated and through violence and other activities. And they've heard about the violence from her and then also from another witness.
Well, we also heard from male escort Daniel Phillip today. What did we learn from him?
Yes, he testified about many encounters that he'd had with Cassie, paid encounters that were witnessed by Diddy and under the direction of Diddy. And he testified to hearing abuse, physical abuse, obvious physical abuse. He could hear Diddy slapping her in another room, and he kind of gave more weight to the idea that she was under his control.
And how did Diddy react in the court during Cassie's testimony?
Diddy did turn to actually see her walk in, and his lawyers had tried to make it so that she would actually be on the witness stand when the jury came into the courtroom. So the jury would not see the kind of dramatic entrance that you get with a witness. But the judge obviously said no, because she walked in when the jury was already seated, and he turned and looked at her. Throughout the testimony, though, he really didn't have much visible reaction. And I'm sure he's aware that it would not look good for him to be smirking or rolling his eyes or anything like that. But a lot of people said that he was taking notes, whispering with his attorneys, but there was no real obvious reaction throughout the testimony, which had to have been purposeful.
It is amazing, Meghann, how explosive this has been already, given how long this trial looks like it will be. Thank you so much for your thoughts tonight.
Yes, thank you for having me.